In this mini tutorial we're going to think some more about working with moles. And the first thing to remember is that a mole is just a particular amount, a particular number, albeit a big one. It's 6 times 10 to the 23 of a given species. So for example, if we have a mole of sodium atoms, we actually have 6 times 10 to the 23 atoms. In principle, we could also have a mole of things like apples or eggs. So a mole of eggs would just be 6 times 10 to the 23 eggs. But the point here is that those kind of quantities are pretty meaningless. We could never have that number of eggs in reality. So moles only really make sense in the context of atoms and molecules. So if we had a particular sample, how do we know how many moles we actually have? And here we can use the relationship that the amount of substance in moles, which we represent by N in moles, is equal to the mass of the sample measured in grams divided by its molar mass, which we measure in grams per mole. We can actually simplify that by representing mass with small m and the molar mass with a larger m, like that. And the molar mass is just the mass in grams of 1 mole of a given substance. So for example, the molar mass of carbon is 12, which means that if we have 12 grams of carbon, there's 1 mole there. Equally, calcium has a molar mass of 40, so 1 mole of calcium would weigh 40 grams. And if we have a compound, then the molar mass of that compound is just simply the sum of the individual elements within that compound. So for example, if we take sodium hydroxide, NaOH, the molar mass is equal to the molar mass of sodium, which is 23, plus 16 for oxygen, then plus 1 for hydrogen, which comes to a total of 40 grams per mole. And if we actually look closely, we actually notice that the molar masses are equal to the relative atomic masses of the individual elements in question. So let's imagine that we have 2 grams of sodium hydroxide. How many moles are there present? Well, we've just written down the relationship that the number of moles, the amount in moles, is equal to the mass divided by the molar mass. So we've just asked the question, how many moles would there be in 2 grams? Well, we know that the molar mass of sodium hydroxide is 40 grams per mole. So simply work out that relationship and we're left with 0.05 moles. And just to be clear on where those units have come from, so we have grams divided by grams here, which simply cancel each other out like that. And then the per mole on the bottom is the same as writing 1 per mole, which is equivalent to moles. So that's where the moles here have come from. The grams have cancelled themselves out, and the 1 over moles, the minus 1 on the bottom, becomes moles on the right hand side of the equation there. So in 2 grams of sodium hydroxide, we have 0.05 moles. Now let's think about if we wanted to weigh out a certain number of moles of a substance. So let's imagine that we wanted 0.5 moles of sodium hydroxide. What mass of sodium hydroxide would we weigh out? Well, in this case we need to come back to our relationship that the number of moles equals the mass over the molar mass. And we're asking the question, what is the mass? And so we need to rearrange our equation to isolate mass by itself. In this case, we've got mass divided by molar mass. We need to reverse that operation. So we can say that number of moles times the molar mass is equal to the mass over the molar mass multiplied by, and those two cancel out to isolate the mass by itself. So we can say the mass is equal to the amount in moles multiplied by the molar mass. So we ask the question, how much would need to weigh out to have half a mole? So it'd be half a mole times the molar mass, which as we saw before is 40, which gives the answer 20 grams. And again, in terms of units, the moles there cancels out with the per mole on the right hand side of the equation, just leaving the units grams, which we see on the bottom there.